bringing the titles to the table, but I'm bringing the people, I'm bringing the money. It's also bringing the fight to the champion at this moment.
Blessed love and blessings up, man. This is real life boxing, watching this fight. Watching my son's game at the same time. But
tries the gunslinger mode. Things getting a little wild in there. Usyk, though, starting to connect. Good right hand lead by Bellew. And that Usyk digging down and getting a little bit more. Like we met body shot. Yeah, Usyk took a snapshot early. There's going to be an adjustment period. But in the long haul, his skills should pay the bills, as they say, unless Bellew can land strong punches to dissuade him. In the meantime, you're waiting for the Usyk outburst. Got him cornered here, but still patient. He knows Bellew's power. Clean right hand from Usyk in the corner. Excuse me, clean lead left. Back comes Bellew. The jab by Usyk, and then he tried to get the left hand in, but Bellew answered. He knew when to stand up. Like Usyk, let the momentum get to him. Usyk's playing those angles really well. He's catching Bellew off balance, a tough spot. But credit, Bellew is leaping right back into the frame with those right hands. Good left hand by Usyk, and lands another good one. Look at the angles he's throwing from. Look at that accuracy. Look, that right hand from Bellew, though, has been able to consistently answer. He's showing a willingness to throw it and risk whatever will come back. And now Bellew clowning, leaning on the ropes, trying to get in Usyk's head the best he can. Good body shot from Bellew. Usyk trying to close ground, but he's closing without throwing. Tell you what, if Bellew can have rounds like this, he's going to give himself an argument. Usyk is the classier fighter in these exchanges, but when Bellew can answer with clean right hands, he keeps himself in these to win these rounds. And then it grows another dimension with the crowd in it and behind him. And that's what I talked about, the output of Usyk. If it becomes more of a chess match like this, you're going to compare which punches you prefer. All right, between rounds, let's go to Nick.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I've never seen Tony Bellew box with such intelligence and such poise. I gave him the first 3 rounds. That might have been Usyk's best round, that last one, but he got drawn into the kind of fight that Bellew would like it to be. Yes, he got some success there, as you saw, but Bellew wants him opening up, unloading some big shots. The big thing that surprised me, especially through those first 3 rounds,
Usyk,
is the Usyk jab, which is such a weapon, non-existent tonight. He's been tentative with it. I think he fears that left hook coming back over the top of it, and he's just been misfiring with that jab. If he's taken the jab away, that's a big asset for Bellew, and I'm just wondering if Bellew is now starting to mess with him mentally, because he's showing him no respect in there. Usyk's never had that in his whole career.
Round 5.
All right, thanks, Nick. And that's a good point about Bellew getting into the head of Usyk. And we've seen some indications that might be right. You know, maybe the mental games began ahead of time when he said, there's no possible way I can outbox this guy. I only have a puncher's chance. He's staying with him on the boxing level in a very sneaky way, and I think a big part of that is the fear of his bigger punches coming over. It has taken away Usyk's jab, like Nick mentioned. Well, it's interesting for any fighter to make Usyk think about the price of the jab, and if he misses it and what comes back at him. He's usually the one putting the fear in his opponent about what might be coming back. Certainly, but he's so crafty, though, that if somebody's got a plan, E, F, G, H, on and on, it's certainly Alexander Usyk. Bellew, though, making him show it earlier than we thought. Usyk continues to bring it, and Bellew continues to counter. There's an interesting angle from Usyk, and then cuts off the ring from the other side.
Yeah, he's not really landing a lot of these jabs, but he's doing a much better job this round, using the jab to put Bellew where he wants him, cutting that ring off better. It's going to be hard for him to have the same level of success against an orthodox fighter with that jab, but he's finding better ways this round, although Bellew answers with a right hand. Good combination from Usyk in close. Bellew's going to shake his head every time. You know that, Dave.
Yes, and there's a good left hand by Usyk, and Bellew caught one on the exchange. He was in between.
Bellew's just moving around.
But you have to fear an opponent like Bellew, who's this mentally tough, who's not going to quit, who's going to simply find a way no matter what happens to him.
And who might be crazy.
Who really might be crazy, let's be honest. But crazy like a fox in all the good ways, because I talked about that transformation from boxer to puncher in these higher weight classes, but that breadth is still there, and you mix all of that together with the level of where his confidence is at, and that's why you just couldn't count him out. Yes, the odds are what they are for a reason, but you just couldn't count him out coming in, and we're seeing that play out in front of us.
And there's a three-punch combination attempted by Usyk, which misses, but then he's back in position. There's the looping right by Bellew.
Usyk much busier this round, really helping himself gain points, even though Bellew has... he's stubborn with that right hand, Dave. He's finding ways to answer it.
He is. He's finding that right hand lead is there. So as Usyk is doing all the stalking, Bellew doing a good part of the landing.
Yeah, you know why? Because Usyk doesn't move his fucking head.
Derek, you were one of the few that gave Tony a chance in this fight. Is it
running
out how you thought it would?
Yeah, for the first rounds, you know, Tony was coming with some big punches, and right now he's kind of coming off his game plan. I don't know why, but you know, he's got a big punch in him because Usyk has felt the power already. So we just know Tony at any minute he can just release that left hook.
What were you shouting to him at the end of the round there?
I was shouting to let it go on the moment because he's staying in the pocket too long. So when he's on the corner, he's not letting his shots go.
What do you think Usyk can do to get back in it if you have Bellew ahead in this fight?
Usyk needs a knockout. They both need a knockout because right now I don't know. I can't even score it right now.
But you get the impression Tony's ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Seconds out.
All right, so we get ready for round 6, and Derek Chisora said we gave Bellew a chance.
He thinks
in the beginning of the week.
Oh, good left hand early from Usyk. He liked what Bellew's worked. And look, I like Bellew to keep this fight closer than we thought coming in. Although through 5 rounds, I had Usyk up 48-47. Some of these rounds are going to be tough to score, though, at this pace, this style, where Bellew keeping himself in the conversation with the clean counter shots as he keeps Usyk's output down. Although last round, round 5, I thought Usyk's best of the fight.
Good jab by Usyk. It was his best volume round, perhaps. Bellew caught him with some nice isolated shots. And that's the scoring quagmire the judges will find themselves in.
So you know these
That's why I think it's
commentators,
important for Usyk to really just pump that jab.
must be on.
Give the illusion
Usyk's
that you
side
are the busier guy, that
Tony
you
Bellew
are the
clearly
ring general.
won the last round.
So he's doing all the work here, cutting off the ring, round after round, and he cuts it off instantly, then goes back at it again.
Footwork is magical. It really is. You give him that credit.
I think Tony Bellew's winning the fight, but the announcers think different.
How many times is he able to get outside of Bellew's lead left shoulder and land one of those sneaky shots that you can't see coming?
How many times is he getting hit by
He's been doing good job the last round and a half of using the angles and then scoring and blocking a little bit more from Bellew, coming back at him by being in better position.
But look, we're going to see scores all over the place. And some of it may be because Bellew is exceeding our expectations in these rounds. Some of it is the preference for these clean power shots. Either way, we got a fun fight here. We have a very interesting...
We have a nice chess match here because it's a fast pace. They're both committed to a particular style in winning. But as it goes on objectively for Bellew, how perilous is the counter-punching route?
If you commit to it, and you're not doing enough in the rounds. Again, you know, activity can sway so many of these judges, but at its core, can Bellew keep up this dance for 12 rounds? I'm not sure. Eventually, sitting in and developing into a pure counterpunching role, knowing he's the bigger puncher, seems inevitable for him. But look, when you can sneak in right hands like that and remind the guy coming forward of what you can do, it's important. Bellew's got to find a way to turn this into more of a scrap.
He tries to get that right hand lead through.
Why does he have to try to turn it into a
I think he got Usyk's attention there with that right hand. Again. One more time. The trio. The triplets, right hands. Bellew finishing strong.
Right.
Beautiful round.
You look back at the start of this fight, that intense glare from Bellew, the counter right hands to get Usyk's attention. But Usyk's been able to increase his output. Those counter punches are still there in ways that I didn't necessarily believe would be at the midway point of the fight.
10 seconds.
That's a solid right hand lead against the seasoned opponent.
And let's not forget, I mean, he was a heavyweight in the two David Haye fights, moving back down in weight to cruiserweight, and he seemed to make the weight fairly easily.
Second half of this fight. Tony Bellew, 30 wins, 2 losses, 20 knockouts. Alexander Usyk, 15-0 with 11 knockouts. He's the undisputed cruiserweight champion. Dave Bontempo and Brian Campbell calling this for you. Glad you're enjoying this intriguing matchup.
I got a 3 rounds apiece up to this point, Dave, at the midway point. Look, I think you could go as far as maybe 4-2 Bellew if you preferred. You could certainly go as far as giving Usyk the edge. It's that good of a fight.
No, you can't give Usyk
Yeah, storming start by Bellew, and then you see Usyk gathering himself and settling into the boxing domain, looking nothing like the guy who's stopping everybody, but he's in with maybe a bigger man in the sense.
You know,
boxing.
That's not his game, though. He'll get knockouts and stoppages because of how accurate of a puncher he is. But his game is craft. And I think if you look in January when he outpointed Myris Bradis in Bradis' backyard of Latvia, there were so many ebbs and flows, so many adjustments that needed to be made in that bout. And Usyk showed such an advanced level of not just toughness, but game planning, of being able to roll with the punches and find a way to get back and take the lead in the fight.
Good left hand here by Usyk as he's got Bellew in the corner, not getting something back. This is one of the first times we've seen Bellew in the corner and not landing that lead right hand and giving Usyk more opportunity to work for the moment.
You said it, that was a long stretch there without Bellew landing a shot until he was able to get out of there.
Yeah, he just landed a 3-punch combination and never said anything about it.
You see Usyk, his brain forever calculating, finding his angles, having much success this round.
Good head movement, cutting off the ring, staying outside of harm's way. This is a good way for him to try and outpoint Bellew, get rounds up.
You look at Bellew looking to load up on that counter right hand, and it seemed like he just missed. Good defense.
1 for 4, got in.
Good defense, though, from Usyk to see that combination coming, knowing the end game of it, cover up before that right hand came in.
Usyk continues to pressure Bellew, and there's no time off. Foot right back on the pedal. No chance for Bellew to relax.
You know, and Usyk has sneaky power because he doesn't always throw full speed, because he doesn't always need to. Sometimes there's setup punches, and then you'll see him let that big left hand go. But hey, decent close to the round for Bellew, but that was clearly, in my mind, an Usyk round.
You only got hit once that round, right? You took it away from him really well. Big defense. Now you had a round off, and he was still working. Now big
You hear that?
Listen to me.
Tony Bellew's trainer just told him that he only got hit one time that round.
Have a drink.
But somehow the commentators won't think that Usyk won the round.
Good jab by Usyk. Kind of a signature element of the round for him.
No question. It sets up so much for him. It's the angles that catches Bellew in awkward positions he doesn't want to be. That round was certainly a snapshot of the type of rounds Usyk would need to continue to get ahead on the scorecards. What kind of adjustment, though, does Tony Bellew, the very, very gritty veteran, have?
Can Bellew find a second wind, or has Alexander Usyk found the way to beat him? That's how we head into round 8. With Usyk coming off a good round.
You know, it's going to be up to Bellew to land something early here. Get the respect back, as they say. Because the clean punches will accumulate as you see him lead a left hand as he backed up into the corner.
Jab by Usyk. He's getting off first, pushing Bellew back.
And I think however you have it scored at this point, it's clear that the momentum's shifting in Usyk's direction here.
Yes, he has the needle moving in his way. And a lot of that is smaller output by Bellew.
Sort of settling into that counter-punching role we talked about. It was always going to be tough for him to keep up that level that he fought in some of those early rounds, as surprising as that was. But look, he's certainly not out of this. A lot of people are going to have these cards close, and he's still looking for angles to land big shots to change the momentum. Good right hand right there.
Bellew trying to get close enough to fire the left hook in each one. And a good left hand by Usyk. So
that's a dangerous
clear
punch.
Shots.
That's a dangerous punch for Bellew because it comes when Usyk gets on the outside of his shoulder where Bellew can't see that punch coming in clean. I think that would hurt him.
And a good angle by Usyk as he tries to shift to the right and then drag that left hand back behind him and score. And then he nailed him right.
Oh! Down he goes with the left hand.
The momentum. We saw Usyk building up, and it's over just like that.
Double kebab! Usyk defends all 4 cruiserweight world titles.
In sensational instant fashion, we saw him breaking down Bellew. We thought that Bellew would hit his peak when he could find a way to make the second level. And Usyk, little by little, pouring it on and wins in definitive fashion.
If that's the way Tony Bellew goes out at age 35 on his shield in a fight that he performed so well up to this point, you give him credit.
Sure.
But this was the showcase for Alexander Usyk in this short window, already showing you one of the special fighters of this generation, one of the better cruiserweights of all time, and now ready potentially to take those skills north to the heavyweight division.
We saw, remember, it was only a couple of rounds ago, it seemed like Bellew was doing it tonight. Bellew was neutralizing him, right? Bellew's ahead of the cards. And then when Usyk found that mid-round gear, that was it.
Wow, what a shot. And it was one shot that ended the fight, Dave, but this round 8 was an accumulation of clean shots that seemed to set Bellew up. A lot of those left hands from awkward angles, throwing them from the waist, almost a half uppercut, half hook. Bellew became open for those. They wore him down, and then that punch was gorgeous that ended the fight.
And there were 2 just before that. There was sort of a foreshadowing where we hadn't seen him get hit and frozen like that before. And then we did see the one-punch power.
You know, that finish reminds me so much of his stablemate Vasily Lomachenko. You remember that Roman Martinez fight at Madison Square Garden? One of the more beautiful 2-punch knockouts in a beautiful combination, but it was set up with those type of punches. Lomachenko, not a huge puncher, Usyk the same way, but when you have that craft, speed, accuracy, creativity to your game, you will create these opportunities. Dave, Usyk is a special fighter.
And people are not going to be jumping in line in one sense, because if you're scouting him for 6 rounds, you're saying, hey, I see vulnerability. I see ways he can get beat. And then all of a sudden, the fight's over. Yeah, just like that. You make one mistake, it's gone.
They say Jimi Hendrix didn't play chords and notes, he played colors. This guy's an abstract painter in that regard. He's special. He's a very interesting threat for the heavyweight division. We know heading into this fight, he said, I'm on the way to Anthony Joshua. Wow, buddy, that's a big statement. But at 6'3", with that type of craft, maybe put on a little bit more weight and muscle. Wow, with that type of speed. Business picking up at heavyweight, which we already knew. Fury Wilder on the horizon. Anthony Joshua standing tall. Is this another player in this renaissance era of boxing's glamour division?
Who wants it? That was a fantastic finish.
I mean, tell me the truth, Dave. Are you very feel after Usyk's knockout right there?
We're double feel here, you know?
Kell Brook giving love and praise for what was a spectacular performance. All the belts.
If there was a night, when you're looking at 6 rounds, if there was a night where it looked like Usyk might get out hustled or overtaken, it looked like that was the night.
I mean, this really was, arguably the toughest challenge of his career. No disrespect to Myris Brightus, but I had it 67-66 Usyk at the time of the stoppage. Quick glance at social media, you see more than a few people had Bellew ahead. This was that good of a fight, that dangerous of a challenge. But Usyk took the snapshots, stuck to his game plan, began to figure out the angles. Wow.
Won't be remembered that it was a gradual beatdown. It was boom. After everything,
look at that left hand. Bellew out as he dropped, tries his best to come back to life in ways we've seen him do it, both inside and outside the ring, to resurrect his career.
The 3 good shots had gotten in, and then remember the looping shots before this.
Eddie Hearn right off the seat to help Bellew. You know they have a special relationship as promoter and fighter, but look at this finish.
Now watch him get into this, all of it.
I mean, that was wide, too. That was a looping shot, but he does it with such poise, control, accuracy.
Now, you have to watch the power generating through the hips as he does that, and he maintains his punching power. Big jab. Boom.
Whew. This guy's taking souls out here.
And he was far out when he landed that, too.
It's really a special fight, and I don't mean to overplay the idea of this guy going up and shaking the heavyweight division up, but it's in play when you have this type of skill set in that type of body.
Well, you could think that he could beat some heavyweights right off the bat, so then it's a matter of, well, how much he can improve. And that's the cruiserweight scenario. It's a division in which you're stuck. Hard to go down. And the money is up.
And look, before Usyk's performance in that World Boxing Super Series tournament should have been his coming out party in the U.S. Unfortunately, it had no U.S. TV. Moving forward, we know the WBSS exclusively on DAZN in the U.S. That should have been his face-turning moment. This certainly is for anybody that wasn't woke on Usyk coming in.
Still undefeated and still the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world from Ukraine, Alexander.
Where do you end the superlatives? Can we go to the level of what the great Larry Merchant said about Manny Pacquiao after the Cotto win? Usyk, we knew he was great coming in. He's better than we thought.
He might be bordering on that. I think he might have to go a little bit more, but this was terrific in the way he finished this fight.
Ukrainian Olympic gold medalist, just 16 pro fights, Dave. It's remarkable the transition he's made on the pro level, the command, the control, and look at Tony Bellew. The hug, the kiss with Eddie Hearn. What a career. If this really is the end, Dave, you